Next week we'll start on a new topic suggested by Upatissa.
Oh, was it the sixth step that he suggested?
Yeah, sixth step. Yeah, it's an extension of the probably extension of the Bahia Sutta. Talks about the aspect of non-self and also the six sense basis and also a bit of dependent arising.
When the Buddha in the suttas he say you shall train thus, then should we read it as a meditation instruction or how should we interpret that?
Yeah. So that's instruction for Bahia. Because the Buddha know he can do it.
We are too noob for it.
Yeah, that's right. We are not that state of intensity. Imagine he's able to walk or travel 165 kilometers just to meet the Buddha overnight, and he's so desperate. Probably he also knows that he's about to die or something. Or the commentaries would say that the Buddha is able to see that he's going to die. So give him this instruction. Okay, let's see who's back. The rest not yet back. Sumita, hi. You have any questions or anything you want to discuss or share? Okay. Suppose that's practicing non-self. Okay. Finding comfortable sitting position. Make sure your back is upright and the rest of the body relaxed. Okay, and we are starting off with the impurities of body meditation. We are going to visualize the hairs of the body, hairs of the head, hairs of the body, and we are going to wish them well and happy. So normally when we start off with any contact with any object, currently this is a mind or object. If we are not enlightened or we do not have the right reflection, we will tend to think this is my hair. Yeah, so this is the sense of self appearing not physically outside, not physically inside, but in the mind door. So it's like neither here nor there, neither inside nor outside. So it's within the mind, thoughts and imagination. So every patch of hair, you need to wish it well and happy. So when a new image being conjured, then you wish it well and happy. So this is to overcome the craving of aversion. So for most people, we cannot just stay with the awareness of being aware of the this sense stimuli. once we just stay idle with the awareness, tendency, the mind will be dragged away by all the sense contact. So the next strongest sensation could be drowsiness, or could be restlessness, could be any of the hindrance, and the mind could be dragged away by all these distractions. So we need to keep actively generate right thought, keep reflecting on loving kindness for every patch of hair. And if your mind is quite calmed down, then we can reflect on impermanence. So all these hairs are subject to birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. So you can think of them growing and falling, many, many cycles. The more the merrier. And when there's more detachment or reduction in craving, maybe those regulars here may be able to feel the sensations or the elements that go up to the mind door. Is it arising or is it decreasing? And we can ask ourselves, are these hairs truly self? Can we tell the hairs not to go through birth and death? So next we can think of the nails, fingernails and toenails, and we wish them well and happy. And all the nails are subject to birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. Yeah, so you need to observe the transition before and after impermanence, the clinging and sense of self, and the elements, the sensations. What's their correlation? And keep observing these nails growing and falling, many cycles. So no matter what happened, no matter how quiet you think it is, keep reflecting on impermanence, not to deliberately generate more volition, but still can reflect on impermanence in quietness. And we can ask ourselves, are these nails truly self? Can we tell the nails not to go through birth and death? So we jump to the next object and you see whether there's any clinging. So now you think of the teeth and we wish all the teeth well and happy. Upper rows of teeth and lower rows of teeth, may they be well and happy. And all these teeth are subject to birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. So this is the impermanence part. So keep observing the teeth growing and falling, many cycles. Even though the teeth fall off the most twice only, we can keep repeating. This is just a mental detachment exercise. And we can ask ourselves, are these teeth truly self? Can we tell the teeth not to go through birth and death? So next we can think of the skin. We wish all the skin well and happy. Every patch of skin, we wish them well and happy. And all this skin are subject to birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. So keep observing them growing and falling, growing and falling. Many, many cycles. So every time we generate right reflection, thinking of impermanence, we are actually purifying the awareness, purifying the mindfulness. So normally those who just say, okay, stay with the awareness only, and they're not doing anything to improve, upgrade this awareness, then this craving will very soon take over and the awareness will dissipate. So no matter how calm or peaceful, continue to reflect on impermanence. So even though the mind is like generating the image of this birth and death, is the elements going to the mind door, increasing or decreasing. Can a person still function with the senses without craving? Okay, then we can ask ourselves, are the skin truly self? Can we tell the skin not to go through birth and death? Okay, then next we move on to the mindfulness of the four elements of the body. So basically we're now using the nervous system. No need to visualize anything. So whatever sensation we detect in the body, we just wish it well and happy. So these elements or these sensations can be classified into four categories. Earth element represents any hard and soft sensations. Fire is hot and cold. Wind is fast and slow elements. And water, moist or dry. So there is no need to deliberately create those sensations. We let it appear naturally by itself, and when it appears, we just wish them well and happy. So you keep reflecting for every sensation. New sensation appear, well and happy. New sensation appear, well and happy. Okay, and if the mind is relatively calm, then we can start to take note of this state of mind. Is the baseline emotion or baseline kind of consciousness. Basically like zero concentration. And we're going to wish all beings in all directions well and happy, above, below, and all across. So no need to push the mind, we let it expand naturally by itself, and no need to visualize all sentient beings. So we perceive all sentient beings as the elements. All beings are made up of the elements, and they also experience all their sensations. So whenever we detect any sensation, near or far, we wish them well and happy. So now we wish all beings well and happy, no longer your body. So we add two important words, all beings. So new sensation appear, doesn't matter near or far, we wish all beings well and happy. So the more we generate loving kindness to all beings, the mind should be able to settle down. And that's the prerequisite to enter the first level of concentration. And no matter how calm the mind it is, continue to wish all beings well and happy. So earlier on when we did the impurities of the body, that is desire realm kind of consciousness, and we try to have no attachment to that. So now with concentrated state of mind, can we still practice detachment? So now we're going to add some insight. We're going to reflect on impermanence. Yeah? All sensations, all beings, they arise and pass away every moment. matter what you experience, continue to be mindful of impermanence. Or you also can reflect on non-self. Originally, all these experiences, not from you. You never control them or create them. And due to certain causes, then these things appear. So whatever experience, as long as you hold on to it, are very nice. And you need to observe the sense of self. Is it increasing or decreasing? So the combination of loving kindness and insight may lead to the fourth level of concentration. So if you experience a neutral but uplifting kind of emotion, and that would be equanimity. So the equanimity again is not the end point. It arises due to causes and conditions. So always be mindful of impermanence. And then we're now going to come back to the feeling the body sensations again. So instead of expanding the mind, we are now restricting the mind back to feeling the sensations of the body. And once you're done, you can now freestyle. No need to restrict the mind. Let it scatter. That means it can run around wherever it pleases. So basically this is the most natural state of mind. There's no control. You're not restricting, you're not expanding it. And through this natural process, we can observe the arising and passing of these sense doors. How this attention moves around through these senses. Without interfering, without directing it anywhere. So basically every moment you just need to observe, where is your attention now? So if I'm speaking, most probably your attention is to my voice, that you're using your ear consciousness. And if I stop speaking, where is your attention now? So every moment, you need to keep observing how this attention arises and passes away. And to help locate your attention, you may use the 4 elements. Wherever your attention goes, the elements will be there. It's part of the 5 aggregates. Actually, mind and matter is together, nama rupa. And every time you detect your attention somewhere, you can observe how strong is this elements. These elements arise due to craving. So the more you reflect on impermanence, the craving reduce, or there's more detachment, these elements will subside or reduce to somewhere else. So it is up to us to investigate where is this origin point, or the point where there's no footing of the elements. And every time you think your mind is quite settled or quiet, you can challenge yourself. How can you go further? Keep on observing impermanence. And to further help break down what is this attention, you may use the 5 aggregates. So the attention itself is the consciousness, the awareness. So you can be aware through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And together there's this thing called the mental formation. And it jumps to a new place, that's a new formation. And there's also this thing called perception. The names and labels, you try to cognize an object, so that is perception. And there's also feelings. Either you find it pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And there's forms, so the forms are the 4 elements, all the sensations. Earth, fire, wind, water sensations. So basically there are 5 in 1. So you may take any of the 5, or if you can multitask, you can do all 5, and we keep on reflecting on impermanence. So there are 2 aspects, the observing of it moving around, that is the awareness part. So if a person just only observe, then that is liberation by awareness, the path. But if your awareness is not sharp enough, you need to combine with this discernment. And when it moves around, you need to keep on repeating this mantra, this is impermanent. And we can also use the reflection on the concept of non-self. Are these 5 aggregates truly self? Do you have total control, or is it arising by itself? And if you try to control, you think it's yours, you try to control, will there be stress and suffering? What we want to achieve is cessation of craving. This right view, not cessation of all activities. So every momentary kind of movement, any sensation appearing, we can keep reflecting on impermanence. Okay, and before we conclude the session, same gentle reminder, as long as you're standing, sitting, walking or lying down or doing any activity, we can always be mindful of impermanence. And with that, we can gently open our eyes, formally end the session, but informally still can generate right thought. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. Any questions on the ground? All okay? All right, if there's no issues, then we can conclude the session. Do some dedication chant. Anumodana. Dedicating merits. Akasata ca bhumata devanaga mahitika Punyang tang anumoditva cirang rakantu loka sasanang etavata ca abhihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabbe bhuta sabbe sattva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Dedication of merits to departed. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Aspiration. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo. Satang samagamo hotu yavani bana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so that's the end of the session. Any announcements from Terence? No, okay, then good night and see you all next week where we start a new topic.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you, Bante.